Hi there, you're still here? Class ended a while ago. You can go home now.
Yes, I know, sir. But I stayed because I wanted to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Of course. I've got a few minutes. What's on your mind?
Well, I've been struggling to remember new words I'm learning. It feels like no matter what I do, I forget them so quickly. Do you have any advice on how I can remember words better?
That's a common challenge. There are actually some great techniques that can make words stick in your memory longer. You don't have to feel stuck. There are ways to make learning more effective and fun.
Really? I'm all ears. What can I do?
All right, let's start with something called mnemonics. Have you ever tried creating a funny or vivid image in your head to remember a word? For example, if you're trying to remember the word abundant, imagine a garden overflowing with fruits and vegetables, so much that they're spilling out everywhere. The sillier and more colorful your mental image, the more your brain will remember it. It's like giving your memory a fun hook to hold on to.
Oh, I see. Making the word visual and a bit silly really helps it stick, right?
Exactly. Now, another useful strategy is learning words in context. Instead of memorizing random words on their own, try putting them in sentences or short stories. For instance, if you're learning the word gregarious, you could think of a sentence like, "My gregarious friend loves throwing parties." Seeing how words work in sentences helps you understand them better and makes them easier to recall later.
That sounds helpful. But what if I keep forgetting the words over time?
That's where spaced repetition comes in. Instead of cramming and repeating words all at once, you spread out your reviews over time, like today, tomorrow, then in a week, and so on. By revisiting the words just before you forget them, you strengthen the memory each time. There are apps that help you do this by automatically scheduling reviews for you.
I've heard of those apps. Are they really that effective?
Yes, they're very effective because they keep you consistent. But don't rely only on apps. Another great method is immersion. Surround yourself with the language as much as possible. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, and even try chatting with native speakers online. The more you hear and see words being used naturally, the more familiar they'll become.
So, it's about consistent exposure, right? But what if I don't have much time?
You can still make progress in small chunks. Keeping a vocabulary journal can be really useful too. Write down new words, their meanings, and make your notes creative with colors or drawings. You could even organize them into categories like food or travel. The act of writing things down by hand helps your brain remember better than just reading or typing.
That sounds like something I can do. But what about those words that are tricky to remember no matter what?
For tricky words, try combining different techniques: mnemonics, context, spaced repetition, and immersion. You'll start noticing patterns and connections that make the words more familiar. It's all about making the learning process as engaging as possible.
I like these ideas. So basically, I should mix up my learning methods instead of sticking to just one.
That's right. Everyone learns differently, so experimenting with different techniques is key. And remember, learning takes time. Don't rush it. The more you enjoy the process, the easier it becomes.
Thank you so much, teacher. I feel more confident about learning new words now. I'll definitely try out these techniques.
I'm glad to hear that. Learning should be enjoyable, not stressful. If you practice regularly and stay curious, you'll be amazed at how much progress you can make. If you need more help, feel free to ask anytime.
I will, thanks again. This conversation was really helpful.
You're welcome. Remember, it's all about consistent practice and finding what works best for you. Good luck, and keep up the great work.